contact every time I get back. I'll try. There's no load there, ain't it? I don't know. Pretty close. Alright, I'm gonna go unload this. Oh, go get that man truck already.
Alright, so I'm fixing to show y'all where the track cutter comes in. Big handy when it gets wet. The woods are a little bit wetter than I thought they were going to be.
I was when I get back to that man truck, I'll just come back to this road here and pick all that man truck for what we're doing.
Just sit it down somewhere.
Okay.
The woods are a lot wetter than I thought they were going to be. As y'all can see, there's water. You should be able to see there's water standing on the ground. And there wasn't water where I walked a little bit ago. You would not even be attempting to cut this with a rubber tire. Not even close. So we're going to have a shoveling lesson 101, I guess you'd say, this morning. You want to make sure you get it nice and flat and straight. And you want to keep your track machine on the wood. Just like what you see me doing here.
Yeah, you want me to come get that other piece of a load or whatever it's going to be before I go get it? Want that exactly or what? That's hard to say if it's full of load. It's going to be close, I believe. I had to get it all gathered up here and then I can tell you what I got. But right now, it's like a pound on it.
We're over cleaning up our other pile of wood.
Yay or nay, and I don't know what to do, you know. Look at the truck coming out. Yeah, you was right the first time. Yeah, I was right both times, really.
Both sides going in. Sometimes when the wood's really thick like this, I'll just cut the left side and my down row at the same time. If I go to getting into an area where the wood's kind of thin and I'm not really having, I like to have about 3 pieces on each side for my tracks to run on. Getting kind of thin, I'll start taking both sides, but this stand of timber is like super thick. David, I'll probably cutting like 2 loads to the acre. The biggest thing is just keeping it neat, straight, and flat. One of the, perks of cutting it on one side, you know, with your left side going in, you'll cut your right side coming back out, and you'll be able to see, you know, weak spots, wetter looking spots, so to speak, in your mats. That would kind of fill in any holes you had from coming in. You gotta overlap it. And the overlapping thing, there's no rule. guess you'd say. You just want to make sure you don't get it too big into the tops, or else your skidder has to start doing a whole bunch of twisting to break those tops out. And whenever they twist and break those tops, it makes a hole in the ground, and then that hole just spreads and travels, and it's not good. When you're doing this, it's not all about speed. It's just you kind of get in a rhythm, get in a pace. Just kind of like running a marathon. Very quickly realize that you'll screw up quickly. This is a very good example, though, of where a track machine is great to have. So long as you have someone on it that knows what they're doing. If you get someone who don't know what they're doing, you can ruin your ground faster with a track machine than you ever thought about doing with a rubber tire. I enjoy doing the matting, shoveling, whatever you want to call it. It's something that not everybody can do, because it does take so much patience. To be able to do this and make wood in it, you gotta be thinking ahead, planning ahead. And most people, they just want to get on these things and just wide open. You can't do that. Not all the time. You can cut it, faster, and either it'll work or it won't work, type thing. Your hand can get really far ahead doing it like this, because doing it like that, because the skidders they're working their butts off to keep this mess shoveled up and working. I was taught to keep things nice and straight, even to help the skidder out. That way, you know, if I only cut 10 loads a day in this, and your skidders weren't working themselves to death to get those 10 loads. If I only cut 10 loads in it, the skidders are going to skid those 10 loads. Shear hand may cut 16 a day matting like this, but your skidder hand got the eyeballs chopped out, and they didn't skid but, you know, 10 or 11. You still only got 10 or 11, and you probably got a worse job. You probably have a worse looking job behind you than what you would have if you cutter would have took the time and did the road properly. Y'all can kind of see what it looks like behind us. Just get in a steady mode. Don't really get in no big hurry. Cut wood, man. Just cut wood. Move over and do everything as it's coming back out, blah, blah, blah. I will argue with you till the cows come home that this is the most efficient way to run a track machine and thinning. I have cut every way drag or so off of this row, so to speak, while you were getting the next row started. Once you got the drag cut on that row, you can continue following you in on that row over there until you got to the back, and either you got back in front of all the wood, or you got all the wood skidded, whatever happened first. And there was no more wood to skid on that road while you were coming out. He'd be able to fall back on his original road that you were cutting.
That one there for me. Well, a couple already.
And he still has wood to skid while you're cutting out of the next road. So your skidder, once you get the first row cut and the cutter man isn't dicking off, the skidder should never run out of wood for the rest of the day. And he may have to wait a little bit while you come out of that first row to get that first row cut. Either if the wood's really bad or the cutter man's dicking off, the skidder should have wood for the rest of the day. Always want to make sure you're tracking towards the front. And it doesn't matter if you have 2 sticks or 200 sticks in that head. You saw how I got off that pile? Throw it down. Always try to work yourself into a position to where whenever you cut your last tree of that one bundle that you're working towards those cuts there. You just want to make sure you never track backwards. When you track backwards, you're losing time. This is also the most efficient way to keep your tracks from wearing out fast too, because whether you want to believe it or not, you're cutting everything as you go. You do a lot of little backwards and frontwards movement. When it's dry, most especially when it's dry, the machine don't do that. It just makes one straight pass going in, and it just straight pass coming out. Alright, so you see those butts? I don't know if y'all can see them. They're right under the head right there. So I'm going to slip in this little pocket right here. I'm going to grab this tree, grab the one to the left of it, and I'm going to leave that one because there's some trash on one side. You work yourself into boom, where you come off the pile of wood, you're back straight, throw your wood down, straighten it out so it don't run off with your skidder, back up, then you go right back in the cut. The trick to running the tractor machine is always keeping that head cutting this. You got to stay in the timber cutting with it. Next time you're out here fooling around, tracking around, the slower you're going to be. Same thing with this next pile coming up here. I see them getting close to my butts already. Slip in here, grab this, knock this down, grab this one, track in and swing it.